Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Enrico Rossi. I'm the regional account manager for ForeScout for South Italy and Cyprus, Greece, and Malta region. I would like to thank you, first of all, for your attendance here, for your presence during this presentation. And I would like also thank our new distributor that officially we opened in Greece, IT Way. This is the first time that we are here together with the IT Way, and I hope that we will have very good results in terms of business, but mainly in the support for the customer that we can have here. I have prepared just 255 slides, just in a few minutes I would like to show to you. I think that most part of you don't know at all ForeScout or eventually know very low about this company. I would like to start to show you which are the three trends that in the market are making inevitable for you to be attacked by bad guys. This is not an hypothesis, probably in the next future should be a certainty. The first of all is the really increased number of IP devices that will be connected to the big internet. Up to 2015, there has been around 5 billion devices connected to the big internet. At the end of 2020, IDC, Gartner Group, and this kind of companies estimate that the number of devices present on the internet should be around 30 billion. The most part of this growth is linked to technologies like IoT. IoT means that there will be a lot of different operating systems involved in this kind of growth. There will be the real not possibility to use agent on this kind of technologies. And this should be really a very big issue. The second step is the massive adoption of the customer about cloud. Private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, doesn't care about this. But cloud means that the companies are losing their landscape. They are losing the possibility to have a real and complete vision of what is happening in the landscape. Third step is one of the most important that is raising now, the integration between IT technologies with operational technologies. Operational technologies up to a few years ago was based on legacy connection, was based on air-gapped networks, and now the situation is totally changed because the producer of the OT technologies are adopting IP and Ethernet connection due to costs. But the issue is that all the devices are used in this kind of technology are mainly designed to do something with very few approach to security. And this could be a really important problem for a lot of different companies. This means that in few time, the number of diversity in terms of operating system, devices, and so on is raising really, really fast. And at the same time, the ability of company to control all their networks, all their endpoints, and so on, is rapidly decreasing. At the same time, the bad guys are learning by the previous attack done. This means that all the new attacks learn the best way to be more fast, more destructive, less identifiable, less stoppable. Just the last one, Locker Gaga. I don't know if someone of you heard some information about this. Hit one of the most important aluminum producer in Europe. This means that we will face in very short time some important bid. In few years, the CIO should manage more than 3 per endpoints respect to the managed endpoints up to the end of 2018. And the last one is a very interesting number, as not a number that we created, but IDC found in the market using technologies like ForeScout technologies. Around 30% of the endpoints was totally ignored by the companies. That presence was totally unknown by the CIO. This means that for 1/3 of your network, you cannot protect the network and you cannot protect it by that area. Which is our mission. We start with the network access control. Someone probably knows our company like a company that make network access control technologies. Our approach is 100% of visibility and control. We are the only one company in this kind of market that is able to operate over the extended enterprise network. And I mean on campus, and I mean on IoT, on data center, on cloud, and on operational technology. Regarding operational technology, I want to remember that at the end of 2018, we acquired a company named Security Matter that worked in the operational technology market. And just a few days ago, the 1st of April, we launched a new version of our product that starts with integration on the visibility area, including also the operational technologies inside our visibility capability. Which are the use cases that normally we can bring to our customer? First of all, device visibility. Without visibility, you cannot have a real security in your network. I make normally an example. If you fight with Mike Tyson, it's not simple. If you blind yourself and try to fight with Mike Tyson, I think that is worse respect to the first situation. So device visibility is the base on which we build all our activities. Then we can provide you asset management and device compliancy. That are two things that are ever and ever more important respect to the adoption of European regulatory, lawful, and so on. Then we can act directly on the network, acting to do network access control, is our history, and for network segmentation, we can work together with some important firewalling producer like Checkpoint, like Fortinet, like Palo Alto, and so on, to integrate with them. And at the end, list incident response. Timing is ever and ever more important because attacks are fast, and the possibility to automate the incident response activities is extremely important for all the new customers. What we do in terms of visibility? We can, first of all, discover all the endpoints. At least endpoints have an IP address. Then we classify the endpoints according to which kind of product, which kind of activity is doing on the network. Third, we can assess the posture of the company, of the endpoint according to the security policy defined by the company. In which way we can do? We can do in an agentless way. Extremely important because this means that you cannot have a lot of problems, issues, and activities to do on the network or on the endpoint. In an heterogeneous or vendor agnostic, we have more than 70 different integrations with vendors in networking and security area. In an intelligent way, because we can reuse the fingerprint of the devices discovered by our customer, putting them in our cloud database and making available to our customer. In a continuous way, our products works each 24 per hour, 7 days each week. This means that in few seconds you can understand what's happening inside your network. And at the end, in an adaptive way, because we can start to deploy our solution, taking into account, for instance, only visibility, and then starting to implement the activities on the network, to the automatization, the integration with the other security vendor. As I said, the remediation is ever important. This means that the orchestration for us is extremely interesting because our customer is asking for this kind of integration. We can have integration and the possibility to exchange information in a bidirectional way with a lot of different vendor services or security vendors. Regarding CM, vulnerability assessment, next generation firewall, network access control, endpoint protection, and microsegmentation regarding data center, cloud, and so on. We have the certification for Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure, and we have the support for VMware NSX and Cisco ACI technology. Why ForeScout? First of all, because we are the most recognized visibility company in the world. Because our customers are recognizing us, more than 3,300 customers that have our solution implemented. Numbers, just 2 numbers that I want to show you. More than 7 million devices classified in our cloud database that are available for our customers, and implementation is possible up to 2 million endpoints inside the same deployment. This is not a word, this is not an hypothesis. We have 2 different customers, one in the United States and one in Europe, that has around 1,800,000 IP addresses managed by single installation. Then, last, our time to value. We have an implementation time that is extremely reduced with respect to the market, only 65 days to implement our solution. In few hours, when we make a POC in front of end customer, or anyway, an installation, in few hours, the customers start to see which is the situation in terms of visibility for their endpoint. And then, last but not least, the Net Promoter Scope. Net Promoter Scope is a range that could be between -100 to +100. We have received by our customer a value that is 74. So means that the first sponsor of our solution is our customer. I hope that you can see our demo in the afternoon, because my colleague Stefano Innocenti will show you which are the really possibilities that you can have with our solution. So thank you so much for your attention.